Greet you in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. Yeah, in each and every one of us, those pictures, that is exactly what is inside of us. Yeah, we are begging those items there. But yeah. But anyway, this week we are going to be learning more on how the body works. You know, in this church we are blessed with health message. There are very few, or maybe there's no other church I don't know, but this is a church that is given health message, the gospel and also health message. I was actually touched with the Department of Health when they brought this, because I think they realized that we've been speaking about health message every year in and out about the health message, and maybe we are not following, we are not adhering to the health message, but they sit down. I was not part of them. They sit down, they discuss, they say, okay, we need to understand how the body works. You know how powerful is that? Because if maybe somehow I take it lightly to take care of my health, then I am taught how my body works. Then you will begin to pick up the responsibility that your body works. The heavy weight, the projects that are working within this system, then we realize that if we are not taking care, there's a lot of things that are going to fail. There are a lot of systems that are going to fail. So this week we'll be actually learning with some more of the system. We're starting today with digestive system. We'll deal with the respiratory system. We'll deal with the circulation of blood. We'll deal with the nervous system. We'll deal with the lymphatic system. Those are the major systems that we have in our body. Friday we'll be dealing with the kidneys also. Those major organs that are so important. But today we are going to start with the one of the biggest systems in our body. It is called digestive system. Okay. So we have two verses. Psalms 139 will be my theme for the whole week. Maybe tomorrow we might not read it. We'll read the verse for the day. We have a verse for the day. We have the theme, which is Psalms 139. Psalms 139 quickly says, I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. You remember back then that the time we are living in today, the technology was not so much advanced. We did not have scanners and all of these things, but I can see that the inspiration of God, when the psalmist was writing this, he was having a mind through the inspiration of the Holy Spirit of how the body works, just looking at this whole body. But today we'll just in this week we'll deal with few of those systems. So Psalms is our theme verse. So we will be coming every night trying to unpack and understand this verse. In each and every system we are going to learn every night, we will be appreciating more this verse. We will be putting more value on this verse. Maybe we knew this verse for a long time, but we are going to make each other to understand deeper so that it can have a weight. When we are saying we are fearfully and wonderfully made, we will know what does it mean, at least for some greater extent. But our verse for today is John, my favorite verse, 3 John verse 2. It says, Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be in health, just as your soul prospers. Sure. So we are making this a statement so that we understand that we are a church, but as churches we should be engaging in health matters. God wants us to be healthy. Here in this verse, John says, Beloved, I pray that you prosper. We are expected to prosper. God does not want us not to prosper. God does not want us to be poor as Christians. God does not want us to struggle. But actually, in this context, you understand that the issue of prosperity, it's a normal life for God. It's just we are supposed to be. You can even check in the Decalogue, the 10 Commandments. It says, on the 4th commandment, it says, your servants must not work. We suppose already. If we are not, we are behind time. We must understand. So I'm saying it is obvious. We are not supposed to be suffering. So this text says, I pray that you prosper, but as you prosper in the worldly things, in money and all these things, but in parallel, there must be health. Because if you prosper and you are not healthy, your prosperity is going to be consumed by your sicknesses. When you are in and out in a hospital, all the money that you work for is going to be consumed by that side. So God says, as you prosper, these things must go in parallel. Be prospering and be healthy also, so that you can enjoy what God is blessing. Otherwise, we won't enjoy the blessings if we are sick all the time. Is that clear? So we are talking about health message in the context of the Bible. So it will look like we are going back to school, but God wants us to know these things. And I can tell you for now, at the end of this week, we will see the responsibility that we need to play in taking care of our bodies. We will see the reasons, some in the past years that we were sick. You will review that, okay, maybe I was sick because of this, because I missed this, or maybe I neglected health principles that were directed to this particular organ. Okay, that will be learning. Okay, so today we will be, as we have seen in the paper is circulated, we are going from the digestive system. It starts from the mouth. Our context is mouth to esophagus, from esophagus to the stomach, from the stomach to the small intestine, and then we also appreciate the contribution that is done by pancreas and the liver. And then we go on to the small intestine and the colon, which is the large intestine, till the back part of the body. Okay? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I believe there's no one who is coming who didn't see that, because we are going back and forth. If there are new people who are coming, we can pass the paper so that they can see that is where we are talking about. Yeah. So as for me, I know these structures physically, because I grew up as a hunter. We were farming, we were slaughtering these animals. As I was young, we were killing the rats and eating them, and their stomachs are exactly as even the form is exactly as our stomachs. So I know these things exactly as they are. I know the textures of these parts, but not for us human beings. But some of the animals we share digestive system like that. Okay. So our first part. Okay, let me say that we are going to be loading you with information. We will be sharing the presentations. Unfortunately, we wanted actually even to share tonight so that you can be looking. But from tomorrow, we will share tonight's presentation, and tomorrow we'll share before we start, so that as we are going through together, so that we can make use of this information. Okay. So. As I've highlighted, we will run through the first thing so that we can save our time. We can manage to have time to engage if possible. But by 1:30 we must be. Not finishing, we must be marching out of this place. Okay? Yeah. What's my time now? Okay, 59 is fine. Okay, so we'll start with the we need food. I must start slowly on this one. We need food. Do we need food? Yes. We need food. But why do we need food? I just want to open us so that we can feel we are here. Why do we need food? This is Samantha?
For energy.
For energy. Okay.
Nutrition.
For nutrition. Okay. Okay, ma'am. What did you say? For taste. We need food for taste. We need food. Okay. For strength.
Yes.
Powerful. That's powerful. Okay.
To be healthy.
To be healthy. Okay. Wonderful. These children are on fire. Yeah. Okay. So that's true. All this. My sister.
I just wanted to say above all, we can't live without food.
Oh, we can't live without food. Okay. We'll die if we don't eat. We are created to eat. Okay. But let me say that as according to Psalms, we are the machines, guys. There's a lot of systems inside of us. Yeah. But anyway, let me not baffle you up. You see as we go through the week. There are a lot of stuff. I look at the industry where we are working. We will be working in this company, doing this and that and that and that and that. The end result, we want to have this product. We have a lot of systems in our body that are same as the big factories that we see, but they are here inside of us. God has established them. But anyway, so we need food to fuel our bodies. That's energy, ne?
Yeah.
We need food to fuel our bodies. We need food for growth. We are growing as a people. From Kanye's day, now I'm this height, I was once small like that. We are growing. Those processes, they don't just happen randomly. We need to eat, and from that food, there is growth. To maintain that growth, we need to be eating. Okay, and then the third one, the body repairs the tissues of the body, and some of the things in the body, they need to be repaired. When you are sleeping in the night, around 12, before 12, when you have slept early in the night, around 12, when you are in the deep sleep, the body is fixing, is repairing whatever was damaged through the frictions during the day. Those amazing things, they happen. When you say we must sleep, God knows that there are certain things that are happening. We are sleeping, but God is even working through our bodies. There are systems that He has established that are working as we are sleeping. You know, when you are sleeping, you don't stop breathing. You are also breathing. Automatically, these things are happening. Some of us, we take them for granted, but God has instituted those systems. Okay, so we say we need food for fuel, to fuel our bodies, for energy, and for repair. The digestive system converts the food. So we are coming to the system that we are learning about. It converts the food we eat into the simplest forms, which is the sugars we call glucose, and amino acids, and which that make up the protein, and the fatty acids that make up the fats in our bodies. You will hear that things are made. There are things that there are manufacturers inside of this body, but you see at the end of the day, it's so beautiful. So the broken down food is then absorbed into the bloodstream from the small intestines, and the nutrients are carried to each cell in the body. So that is the overall work in a nutshell. We are eating, we need this and that in eating. The food is, we are eating from the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, down the colon and up, but things are happening. You understand? Yeah. So the food ends in the cells. I want us to note this tonight. The food will end in the cells. Whatever other systems, all of them, they don't need to fail. They need to work successfully. But at the end, the food or the nutrients need to land in the cells of our body. We have spoken in another day that there's only one disease in the world, and that disease is what? Cellular malfunction. We don't have thousands of diseases as we are taught that we have a lot of disease, but one disease is cellular malfunction, when the cells are not working properly. That is where all the other, what they are called disease, are coming. Actually, they are symptoms of the cellular malfunction. You understand? But for the cells to work properly, the cause or the major cause for them not to work properly is malfunction. And then malfunction is deficiency. So deficiency is when we are not eating. And we are saying today we need to eat so that our body may be nourished. But if we are not eating, then nothing is going to happen. Our cells will be limping, and then we are going to be sick. We're going to have all the multiple diseases that we have. Okay? Okay. So I was stressing that whatever we are doing, all this food, at the end, the last part, it must end at the cells. That is where everything will work. The issue of repairing the body, the issue of growth, and that we have counted, they happen after the food has ended in the cells. It is from the cells that the real projects that are taking place. So then also the digestive tract begins at the mouth and it ends at the last part. And it is like a long muscular tube, up to 10 meters long. Did you see what is in that picture?
Yeah.
If you can stretch all this from the esophagus to the small intestine and the colon, it can stretch up to 10 meters. Inside of us, we have a 10-meter pipe that we can stretch. It's so amazing, but it is organized by God in a nice way. Yeah. There's a colon around it, and all the small intestines are organized strategically by God. As we are moving, they are there, sitting there. Okay. Also, I told you we're just going to be loading you, just giving you information, but I'm trying to rush so that we can have 10 minutes of engaging, if possible. Also, another point that is important, there's a large reservoir of microbes, such as bacteria, that live within our large intestines, to a lesser degree in the rest of the digestive system. So these bacteria play an important role in a healthy digestive system. So the exact type of bacteria are particular to each person, and factors and other factors that influence the type of bacteria in your body is because of where you are living, the health conditions you have, and the medication you have received. So that was just an introduction. We are starting now from mouth to esophagus. What happened from the mouth? Okay, from mouth, as we are taking the spoon and each taking that veg, digestion begins in the mouth. We are starting digesting in the mouth. I've seen that other people, when we were growing up in the back at the home, we'll eat in one dish. We are a lot of us. My friend, there's no time to really chew the food. Because if you chew the food, others are just taking the food down. They're not going to get food. So we'll be just throwing food down in the stomach. Okay, but digestion starts where? In the mouth. We need to chew food properly. It is very important. I'll tell you what. So if we are skipping that, we take it for granted, we just want to fill our tummies. The things that were supposed to happen here in the mouth, they will happen in the stomach. And trust me, when they happen in the stomach, there's going to be havoc. Some other gases that were supposed to be breathed out, they will be coming inside the stomach. Other things will be happening at the end. Are you with me? You see, when you have cooked your beans, you did not cook them properly. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so it's important. But you see. So the food is ground, it's chewed, crushed in the mouth by the teeth, and it is moistened with saliva to make it easy to swallow. Yeah? So that we are not so much with the sauces. There is an assistance for food to go down. But today the world has provided a lot of sources so that they can assist the digestion. But God has created naturally. As you are chewing your food, normally the saliva comes down from the walls of your mouth. Okay? And then to moisten that food so that to start the process of digesting the food. And also, the saliva also has a special chemical called an enzyme, which starts breaking down carbohydrates into sugars. Those things are happening right in the mouth. If you don't do that, that process is going to be skipped in your mouth. Okay? It's very important. So I'm saying there are even enzymes in that saliva. It's not just saliva. There are enzyme properties that help in the process of chewing and making sure the food is ready for the second process in the stomach. Okay? Yeah, and when I was watching another video, that it baffled me out because I learned that it's not only those enzymes, it's actually a lot of enzymes from that saliva that is clean. It looks like it's pure, but there's a lot of other enzymes that are even adding the value in the food that we are eating. Others are activating some of the things that are there in the food. They need those special enzymes to activate them. If you don't do that, they will not be activated. If you just eat and pass them, they did not help your body. So it's important. Okay, once swallowed, there is a muscular construction of the esophagus, the pipe from the mouth to the stomach. It massages that food into round balls down to the stomach. It uses a system that is called peripheral system. I think I'm calling it right, peripheral system. It massages the food on one way. It's not the up way, it's one way. Even if they can turn you upside down, the food will go one way because they clamp the food and then they move the food. It's just them. It's a system. It is established by God. It's God who has done it. Okay, you don't need to do anything. You just swallow your food, do what you must do. Once you swallow your food, that system takes place. Those muscles are arranged to make sure they take food down the muscles. And that is beautiful. It's created by God. And also, the next point, we're going to the stomach. Now, we have moved from the mouth, the esophagus. We have seen that pipe full of muscles. There are others are going down, others around this. They are powerful. They are able to take down the food. Okay. Then from the intestines, from the stomach, no, I'm jumping from the esophagus to the stomach, no? And then the food passes through a small muscle ring into the stomach. It is called sphincter. Okay, that's why I want this presentation to go to so that those names that I can pronounce right, but you don't mispronounce, you see it. Yeah, pronunciation is not the same, wasn't it? Okay, it's called the sphincter, but it is a wrapper at the top of the stomach. It opens up. It's not, you see, God is a God of order. It stays closed, but once you start chewing in the mouth, and the body is preparing the next part, the esophagus. Once the stuff enters the esophagus, that rubbering is ready. There's a communication that is done by as the food reaches the top part of the stomach, that rubber opens up. Okay, that's sphincter. And then the food enters into the stomach. Okay, and then here it is mixed with gastric juices. There are gastric juices that will be brought there to make sure the food is softened and is made right, so that we can reach the goal, the target of getting the nutrients in the small fine details. Okay, then the stomach itself is a bag, is a muscular bag that is made by proteins, and it churns the food to help break it down mechanically and as well as chemically. As we are active during the day, that activeness is doing something, and those gastric juices also, they are melting the food, they are assisting the food to break it down, and then the food is then squeezed through the second sphincter, the other rubber, at the end of the stomach into the first part of the the small intestine. And the part of the small intestines is duodenum. We remember, those who have done biology at school, is duodenum, the first part of the small intestine. From the small intestine, the food is mixed with digestive enzymes from the pancreas and the bile, which is from the liver. Food is then squeezed into the lower parts of the small intestine, and they are called the jejunum and the ileum. Then nutrients are absorbed from the ileum, which is lined with millions of finger-like projections called villi. Right there in the stomach, in the second part of the small intestine, there are those projections called villi. They are there, and they are able to take the food to where the food is supposed to go, to the cells. Okay, and then each villi is connected with the mesh of capillaries. And this is how nutrients pass into the bloodstream. Then we have the pancreas. We have counted pancreas and the liver. They are contributing to the digestive system. They are not just sitting there at the back of the stomach or in the gall, that gall on the liver. They have a work and they are contributing. What are they doing? The pancreas is one of the largest glands in the human body. As well as digestive juices, it also secretes a hormone called the insulin. I believe we know, all of us, we know insulin. Most of us, who are suffering from diabetes, we know we either inject or have some pills that help the body to unlock ways for the insulin to enter in. So we know it is coming from the pancreas. It's a meat that is so nice when you are eating the pancreas. Yeah, that is totally different from the muscles. Yeah. I'm not promoting eating, but I know it. Okay, yeah. So we have gastric juices and the hormone. That hormone that helps us not to suffer from the diabetes, either 1 or 2 diabetes. It is produced by the pancreas. Okay, and then also insulin helps to regulate the amount of sugar in the blood. And then diabetes is a condition caused by the problems with insulin production. When we are not doing what we are supposed to be doing, when you are not eating, and when you are eating but eating that which is not food, or the food that is maybe probably overcooked, such that you are not benefiting from it, then the pancreas won't work, and then your sugar will not be regulated, and there's going to be problems. We will have to live with conditions that are just lifestyle conditions, and at hospital we're encouraged to get medication so that we can live with that as if there's no other option. Okay? But at the end we'll see how can we solve these problems. So then the liver has a number of different roles in the body, including breaking down fats, using the bile stored in the gallbladder, and processing protein and carbohydrate. That's the work that the liver is doing. It's also filtering and processing impurities and drugs and toxins. The liver is playing that major role. You know, the people who are drinking too much, they are making the liver to suffer because it's doing that work. But when they take a lot of toxins, it ends up even dying. You hear people that they don't have a liver. But then you ask yourself a question, if there's no liver because of the lifestyle that I'm living, how are the toxins are going to be managed by the body? Which means toxin will pass and then the body will be fed with toxins. So you see that particular organ is very important because it has a job. We cannot take for granted any one of them. Okay. Also, the generation of glucose for short-term energy needs The generation of glucose for short-term energy needs from other compounds like lactate and amino acid. Those things are done by the liver, the responsibility of the liver. Quickly, the large intestines, the colon. Once all the nutrients have been absorbed, the water is moved into the large intestines. We call them the bowel, the colon. And water, right there, when the food is launched there, then the water will be removed and the waste is stored in the rectum. It can then be passed out of the body through that part of the body, the last one. Okay, so that's a journey of the food. When we have started eating, actually in this small time, we have tried, we cannot bring all the details, but we want to give you appetite to dig deep more and see the need that it is important that you yourself as an individual, you can start studying about how your body works. But generally, from the mouth to esophagus, from stomach, from the small intestine and to the large intestine, and we have seen the processes that are important. We have just started today. We see the important things that happen. Is there anything that we can believe and convince ourselves that that process maybe it's not important, maybe even if it doesn't happen, it's not a big deal? Is there any process that we can take it lightly just from the digestive system? That we think, oh, maybe the pancreas is work. Even if it does not work, it won't be a problem. Do you know that?
Maybe with first digestion in the mouth. Maybe if I'm in a rush, even if I didn't chew my food, I don't think maybe it's a problem. What it's going to the stomach. So I'm eating in a rush. So I don't think. Do you think maybe we can explain more if we can? This is what I'm thinking for now. If I didn't chew my food, just because I'm in a rush.
Yeah. Okay.
This is you said that digestion starts.
Yeah.
In the mouth, so if just the food just pass.
So
because at the end, see what I always say, I'm gonna go to bathrooms. The end of the food is ending there. So
okay. So you said now this digestion. The digestion starts in the mouth. That's why we have the mouth, and we have introduced some few things that are happening in the mouth. We have even highlighted the enzymes and quite a number of enzymes that are there that they need to be secreted as we are chewing the food. And there's one of the things that we always laugh when we bring. You say, normally we're supposed to be chewing food 32 times. 32 times. If you are eating the proper food, not the instant stuff, you can chew even more than 35.
Yeah.
But when you are chewing 32 times, you are allowing all the juices to mix. Nothing is going to be skipped. When the food goes to the stomach, it will be ready. The stomach will be doing its job, not the job that was supposed to be done in the mouth. You understand? So if you just swallow the food, we're going to miss some of the enzymes.
sure.
That's what's going to happen. So the food will need now to be cooked if it must be cooked. Like I was saying, there are gases that need to come up and escape through the mouth that are not needed in the stomach. They will happen inside of you. Then other reactions will happen. Okay, so 32 times we chew.
Yeah.
If we are eating the right stuff, I'm not counting the fruits and other stuff, but the food that is real food. Okay. The last section I want to go before I noted your hand, Angela.
No, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Then the last part, we cannot do anything. The time is very small.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, I noted your hand, my brother. So the last section is common problems in the digestive system. We also need to just a hint of those things so that we are aware of those things. Okay, Brother Martin.
No, the difference between digestion and breaking down of food. Understanding the mouth, when we say digestion starts in the mouth, we're talking about the digestion of starch or sugars. Is that digestion or the chewing part breaking down of bigger molecules, bigger particles into smaller? Yes. Okay. Let's say you bite an apple, you break it down using your teeth. Which one is digestion?
Okay, that's a beautiful question. So digestion, that's why you were saying the digestion system. It's a system, so it's not a one way that we can say, okay, when I'm biting using my incisors, that is digestion. So the moment I bite the food and I start chewing, that is digestion all the way till the colon. is the whole process. What happens in the mouth, what happens in the esophagus, in the stomach, all these additional things that are happening, all of them, they attempt digestion. So the issue of chewing now, that is like literally breaking with your teeth and the mixing of that saliva, but it starts from there till I can say till the ileum, the last part of the second section of the small intestine, where the nutrients are taken. So when the nutrients are taken, which means digestion process has completed its course, the food is ready, the manufacturing that was done is ready to be taken as nutrients to all the body parts, muscles, bones, and everything. I don't know if I made it clear. Yeah.
In the mouth, let's talk in the mouth only.
Yeah.
You chew 32 times.
Yes.
Is that digestion?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's talk about the starch or the sugars in the mouth. How do they get digested? Through the chewing, or there is two types of digestion in the mouth?
Okay.
Okay, so basically there are two types of digestion, right? There is what we call mechanical digestion. So mechanical, this is physical, right? It's the physical breaking down from large particles to small particles, and it involves the mouth, obviously chewing, but also as you swallow, you're also squeezing the food. So as it moves from the stomach from the mouth to the stomach, that squeezing also reduces to some extent. So that is mechanical. Then there is biological now, which is done by the enzymes. So yes, the biological, which is chemical. So chemical, you are basically involving the enzyme. But that is basically the extraction now, the extraction of nutrients in food particles. So that's how they are different, but same digestion. Sure.
Okay. That I think that was answered when we were saying mechanical, but we were mentioning in the stomach. In the stomach, mechanically it happens and chemically it happens because when I'm active, that's why it's good that we don't eat a lot of food in the night. We eat maybe 4 hours before we sleep so that we go to bed with empty stomach. Because when we are active, the activeness, these gastric juices, I don't know how, if you put an acid in anything that you want to melt, you put the acid and then you shake it, you see the breakaway. And then it gets into another layer of whatever it is that you are eating with that. Then the moment you shake, you see now it peels off. So that is now the physical part that Andrew was mentioning. I think that's cool. Okay. Okay, Mike. Okay. You don't eat. Don't eat, you're going to die, my friend. You're going to starve and you're going to starve and be thin and then eventually die. Yeah? Okay, let's rush to the common cause so that at least we are done. So this digestion, it's a big thing actually. There's a lot of stuff that is happening. Obviously there are problems that we also go along the way. We know we are living in a world of sin, there's a lot of shortages, there's a lot of limitations. I'm going to come back to you maybe. So some of the common problems, they include colitis. I'm not so familiar with a lot of diseases because I'm so scarce in the hospital. Yeah, okay, but most of us will know that colitis is an inflammation inside the bowels, okay? And then we have diverticulitis. It is an inflammation of pouches lining in the small intestines. And also we have gastroenteritis, an infection that causes vomiting and diarrhea. We also have heartburn. We know heartburn, we're coming home now. Heartburn is when the contents of the stomach back up into the esophagus. You see some of those things, you say we are not chewing right, or maybe you are eating things that are so strong, they end up backing up. They even break that system of esophagus going down, then the elastics, they open in the reverse way because some things that are not happening are not good. Okay, so they come back and they will be eating inside there. So you hear the burning on that pipe. Yes, that is the heartburn. We also have the ulcers, a hole in the mucous membrane lining in the stomach or in the duodenum. And last one, we just highlighted few ones so that you just get that we know. The last one is constipation. And also constipation is one of the largest problems that causes a lot of problems. It's actually a big challenge because You know, when you go to hospital, they will ask you some questions. They actually look for information to you. You actually go to hospital seeking the information to them, but you are bringing the information. Then they just give you medication. They just analyze that, okay, in the past few years we have someone, we have this and this and this, we treated with that, things were well, you need that. So now what happens when you have a problem in the colon? The colon will make you to have a headache. That is far from the colon is here. You will have an elephant feet just here on your feet. The problem is here. And the doctors who are busy making money, they will be giving you medication for your feet, medication for your head. And then that medication comes and adds a lot of toxins. To whatever problems you have, you will be adding through the medication. So those are the realities. So now the problem with colon is that the problem will be here and it's silent here, but the signs are felt far from it, and then the doctors now will be dealing with the symptoms. And actually, as they will be doing that, they will be adding. Actually, that's a biggest problem. Also, the issue of diabetes is the biggest problem. But this issue of constipation, stuff can stay in the stomach walls, in the colon walls, and they say it can be as hard as the rubber tie for the track. Yeah. The food, you know, the colon is like this on the outside. It's like this food can start piling one line, and then it sticks there because you are not eating proper food. There's no fiber in your food, and you are eating all the refined food. Things stick, such that you have a small hole in that big colon. You have a small hole. You will see when you go to number 2. If you see your feces that are small like pipe. But as African, you deliver big things. As African, you deliver big things. That's true. So, but once you have a small thing now, just like a finger, then there's it means your colon is stuck to old. And then the food is only moving in the middle. You understand? And that creates problems. People can die. Once it blocks, things are not moving, you're going to die. And other people are starting to have big stomach and they say we are well, everything is good. It's the beginning of the problem. Understand? Yeah, that was the last problem. So any just comment or anything that my time is I have 1 minute. I have 1 minute. Okay. What were you?
Ask that if you eat and you sleep at once, what will happen?
You hear that beautiful question? You also have a question?
Okay, no, I just wanted to comment to say that. You see what you touched on the issue of chewing.
Yes, sir.
There's literally, we're not extracting all the nutrients at the end of the digestion. Mm-hmm. So the eating is the one that really, the mechanical digestion is the one that is responsible whether or not your body will be able to extract all the nutrients. So we get hungry frequently, not because we are not eating, but because we are extracting less, or we're not extracting 100% of the food that we eat.
Yeah.
So it means that the frequency then of being hungry is more, because we need to eat more so that the body can at least function. So if we eat properly, I was reading in some paper, they were saying you need to chew at least 100 times to just make sure that whatever. So basically we need to drink. So what the idea is to drink. When you're chewing, you need to drink.
Yeah.
The slogan that was saying now, we need to drink what we eat.
Yes.
We need to chew what we drink.
That's
so
it.
Even water, you don't just throw it.
Yeah.
You need to be like you are chewing the water, because
Yes.
that mixing, proper mixing. The water must go around the water.
So that's the idea.
Then you take it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the last question. That's very important question.
Yes.
When we are eating and sleeping, is also bad, because that the mechanical one. When we are active, we are assisting the digestive system. You understand? So it's good that I was saying now we need to eat early, maybe 4 hours before we go to sleep. Earlier, then we are active, and then at least the food is outside of the stomach, is in the intestine, then the other process will take place. So it is good that we go to bed with empty stomach. We are not going to bed hungry, but the stomach is empty. You have eaten, the food has left the stomach. Obviously, you will feel hungry once the last part of the food leaves the stomach. But when you drink water, that thing disappears. Yeah. But Tina, we want to be like hungry. We want to be full when you go to bed. And when you wake up in the morning, actually the digestive system will be working the whole night. then you are not resting. The digestive system is big. From the mouth to the top part of the body, the whole body. If it is working, your brain is not sleeping. You are not resting. You wake up tired and you wake up, you steal food because the process of digestion is slow when you are sleeping. There's no assistance, you are just sleeping. You wake up early in the morning, you're rushing to work, you feel full because the stomach is full. But it's an old food. It's getting old because it's hot in the stomach. Last question, my time is up. Your hand was up also. Is it a question or comment? Mr. Mitchell, is a question or comment?
No, comment.
Comment. Okay, you can shoot quickly.
Okay, I read that saliva contains a lot of enzymes.
Yes, ma'am.
So is it healthy to mix the enzymes like with another person?
Okay, let's attempt to Mr. Okay, can you help one meeting? I don't know if there anyone who want to. Okay, one meeting. Okay, we can close with that one. I don't know if there's anyone who wants to comment, but that's for family life for me. That's a sacrifice that you'll be doing with your enzyme, but it's for couples.
Yeah, the saliva carries the salivary amylase.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That time when I asked the question, I wanted you to touch those two digestions.
Okay.
The breaking down that mechanical is different to this one of chemical. It contains salivary amylase which digests the sugars. And once it enters the esophagus, the enzyme eventually dies because it cannot live under acidic condition.
Okay.
Because in the stomach it's very acidic. On the part of chewing, people are laughing because they eat stuff that doesn't need chewing, refined stuff. Bite an apple and count when chewing and see that if you chew 25 times, will it be broken down that you can swallow it? You get the point?
Yes.
So the real stuff that we must eat, take that white bread, bite it, you see that you need to chew it 3 times. But go and buy proper bread. You see that you need to chew more than that. Actually, you don't need. You will chew it more than that because the particles will be still big. You cannot swallow it. So because now we eat all that rubbish.
Yes,
that leads you swallow. Then you constipate. Then that's why we laugh. 2 times. Where are you going to get that time? Because of the stuff that we eat, which is really low.
Yeah, thank you so much. And to mention something, so when we are eating, for example, the grain, the nutrients, the nucleus of the nutrients, most of these things, they are at the center. So that is why we need to break these things literally in the mouth. If you take it inside the stomach, for example, the maize, this is so hard. And then you just take it down.
Yeah.
It's gonna come out the same that side, which means you didn't unlock what you're supposed. So these things are important because when the chunks are big in the stomach, even the gastric acids, maybe they will fail to really make it to be softened. So it is very important. All these systems, they are very important. From mouth all the way down, they are even the delivering out, if it's not happening, and it won't happen if the contents of the food that you are eating, you will struggle with the delivery. The nutrients are taken, but you must deliver. It's not happening. It's going to be a problem. Nothing must be taken for granted. So we'll learn later, maybe when we come to the last day now of what is actually the real food, to make those differences as much as I said. That's the last thing.
Yeah, that's
Oh, Mr.
Okay. Quickly gonna be it's like 3 questions and the comment at the same time. So, but even if you didn't answer now, it's fine even next time because I see the time maybe is gone.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say, because these things, I mean, most of the time we used to hear with our parents, but sometimes we think maybe it's joking. So we used to be told that, I mean, sometimes before you sleep, you need to wash it. I mean, the bath. So sometimes now, I mean, you've just finished to eat, and then same time you're going to So I mean, they will tell you, no, that is not allowed. I mean, like if you at the same time you just finish eat, and at the same time you go to sleep. So there's a problem also there. And also sometimes to eat hot food, it's very hot. I mean, you're rushing, but it's very hot. Like for us, they used to say that, I mean, your mouth will stink.
Yeah.
But it's not only about the mouth thing, it's more damage will be done there. And also to eat cold food. Also, it costs us some other stuff. So that's what I was wondering. It's a question, but same time it's a comment.
Thank you so much, my brother. That's my elder from Tarabandu. Yeah, Mr. Simon. So anything hot to the extreme and anything colder to extreme, it will take the reserve energy to bring it down to the right energy. You understand? So you have reserve energies, but they will be wasted because you are eating too much cold. You don't need cold stuff. It must be brought to the end. That takes a lot of energy. So, but we like cold stuff. We think we're going to be cool because we are drinking cold stuff. It takes a lot of energy to us. Then you are tired. So those things, they are very important. Thank you, my elder. My time is finished. Over to you.
May we be blessed. Amen.